Whether you're a longtime Care Bear fan or just starting, you probably have noticed some new bears with leafy paw prints or a green Caring for the Earth badge on their boxes. Curious about who they are? Are these brand new bears? A special collection perhaps? And just how many are there? Stick around, I've got all the answers coming up. Let's start off with some history to this line. This line is a branch off of the standard plush line. Basic Fun decided to start this line after the success of I Care Bear, which was released in early to mid 2022 as part of Wave 5. So every Eco Bear is made with 12 plastic bottles, and the packaging is 100% recycled paper. The ink is soybean ink. Now, to know if you have an Eco Bear, every Eco Bear will have this leaf on their right paw, and their box or tag will have this green badge. This line was first seen at the Dallas Toy Fair in 2022. The first 13 bears to be showcased for this line was Cheer, Dare to Care, Friend, Funshine, Good Luck, Grumpy, Harmony, Hopeful Heart, Love a Lot, Share, Tender Heart, Togetherness, and Wish. However, none of these were the first bears to make it to the stores. The lucky bear to be released first was Calming Heart Bear, but not the one you think. She was released in Canada as a Toys R Us exclusive in July of 2023. Later, to be released in the US as a Walmart exclusive in December of 2023. This is Calming Heart Bear with no glitter or scent. The only other difference is the expression on the box. After Calming Heart Bear, the next 3 bears to be released was Always Here Bear, See Friend Bear, and the re-release of I Care Bear. Always Here was released in the UK in late August 2023 and in December 2023 as a Walmart exclusive in Canada and the US. See Friend was released in August of 2023 in the US and in September 2023 in the UK. She was an Amazon exclusive for both countries, and because she's from Amazon, that meant no box. I Care Bear's first release was early to mid 2022 as part of Wave 5 as mentioned before. His second Eco release was in August 2023 in Canada, and then in December of 2023 released in the US. The only differences are the expression on the box and the color of the box. The first release was brown, and the second release was a white box with just a hint of green. The next Eco Bears to be released were re-releases, which were Superstar and Dare to Care. Superstar's first release was mid to late July of 2022 as part of Wave 6. The Eco version was released September of 2023, and the only difference is the expression on the box. Dare to Care's first release was early January of 2023 as part of Wave 7. Her Eco version was released September of 2023. The differences are the expressions on the box and the bear. After those came 4 more re-released bears. They are Love a Lot, Wish, True Heart, and Togetherness Bear. Love a Lot and Wish's first release was August 2021 as part of Wave 2. Their Eco versions were released in December of 2023. The only differences are Love a Lot has different expressions on both box and bear. Wish Bear has a different expression, and the Eco Bear didn't come with a box. True Heart's first release was late July 2021 as part of Wave 6. Her Eco version was released December 2023. The only difference for True Heart is the expression on the bear. Togetherness Bear's first release was July 2021 as the only bear to Wave 3. Her Eco version was released also in December of 2023. The only difference for Togetherness is the expression on both bear and box. That wraps up the first year of Eco Bear. So before we move on to the next year, how about you drop a like and let me know that you're enjoying this video? I would greatly appreciate that. For the start of the second tier of Eco Bears, they start with 2 bears, which are a re-release of Good Luck and the release of Flower Power. Good Luck's first release was July 2020, which was part of Wave 1, and his second release was August 2020, which was part of Wave 1.5. Now, if you're confused why he has 2 releases already, I'll put up a card for the video that explains it all. He also got a 3rd release in August of 2021 for the 40th anniversary. His Eco release was January 2024 at Toys R Us in Canada if you wanted a box. Otherwise, you waited until April of 2024 to get him with no box from Amazon. However, the only differences between all 4 releases is that the Eco version has a different expression on the bear. Boxes are the same on the front. Flower Power was released in January 2024 in the UK and US, but only as a Target exclusive for the US release. The next set of bears to follow were Good Vibes, Friends Forever, and Unity Bear. Good Vibes was released February of 2024. However, if you wanted a box, you got it from Walmart. And if you didn't want a box, you got it from Amazon. But only for the US. The UK, Amazon came with a box. Friends Forever was released February of 2024 for the US as an Amazon exclusive that originally didn't come with a box, but later releases did have a box. She was released in March of 2024 in the UK with box. For the last bear in this set of releases is Unity Bear. She was released in February of 2024 in the US. This bear doesn't come with a box, but was meant to be an Amazon exclusive. If you want to know more about that, I'll put up a card. It was a wild ride for Unity Bear. For the next set of Eco Bears, we go back to doing re-releases, which are Grumpy, Cheer, Friend, Harmony, and Do Your Best. Grumpy and Cheer are just like Good Luck. They had their first release July 2020, which was part of Wave 1, and their second release was August 2020, which was part of Wave 1.5. Their third release was August 2021 for the 4th anniversary. So their Eco versions were released April of 2024. Now the only difference for Grumpy and Cheer is different expressions on the bears and boxes from 2021 and 2024. Harmony's first release was June 2021 for Canada, July 2021 for the US, and she was a Walmart exclusive, which was part of Wave 4. However, she was released in the UK, but not until May 2022. Her Eco version was released in April 2024. Friend Bear's first release was August 2021 for the UK and the US as part of Wave 4. However, in late 2021, she was released in Canada. Her Eco version was released April of 2024. Do Your Best Bear's first release was August 2021 for the UK and September 2021 for the US. She was an Amazon exclusive. She was also part of Wave 4. Her Eco version was released April of 2024. The differences for Friend, Harmony, and Do Your Best is the expression on the bears, and the Eco Bears didn't have boxes. Following that was the re-release of 3 bears for the month of May, which are Funshine, Tenderheart, and Share. All of these are like Grumpy and Cheer. Funshine, Tenderheart, and Share were part of Wave 1 and 1.5 with their third release for the 40th anniversary. Their Eco versions were released May of 2024. The only differences are the 40th anniversary and Eco boxes are different for Tenderheart and Share. Funshine didn't have a box, or I couldn't find one. The expressions on the Eco Bears are different than the other 3 releases. The next bears to be released was another re-release and a new release. The re-release was Hopeful Heart. Her first release was late July 2021 for the US as a Target exclusive and in Canada as a Toys R Us exclusive. She was released in the UK in August 2021. She was part of Wave 4. Her Eco release was June 2024. The other release was Be Me Bear. She was released late July for Canada, early September for the UK, and late September for the US. However, she was a Walmart exclusive only for the US and Canada. For the last bears of 2024, they released True Friend and Good Wishes. True Friend was released in early September for Canada, UK, and the US. Good Wishes was released in early September for the UK and released in late 2024 for Canada. The US sadly didn't get this release. Now, for the only 3 bears for 2025 are Sweet Serenity, Blossom Heart, and True North 3.0. Sweet Serenity was released in February of 2025 on Amazon and in March 2025 for the UK. Blossom Heart was released February 2025 on Amazon for the US and in April for the UK. True North was released in April of 2025 in Canada and the UK only. So there's a total of 30 bears. But that's not all the Eco Bears. Let me know in the comments if you have any of these. If so, how many? If you want to see more Eco Bears, then check out the video on screen. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Eco Bears Part 2 is coming soon, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.